is so depressing. Oh, wow. Oh god, so depressing. Oh jeez. Okay. What's up, guys? Welcome to What Remains of Edith, Finch. I'm pretty sure it's like a very sad game. I'm not sure. But, welcome. Wow, it is actually a very sad game so far, I'm pretty sure. Well, welcome to the game.
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning, with the house.
Oh. Can I go back?
Someone had put up a chain link fence, but it looked like I wasn't the first person to hop it. My brother Milton disappeared when I was 4. It was like the house just swallowed him up.
That's depressing already. Can I sprint? Oh, I can zoom in. Oh, menu, my bad.
I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms. Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately.
Why am I doing this? Close it. I'm having someone shut my mailbox. Oh, Jesus. Stop that.
I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral.
Oh, trespassing. Why? I can't even close the gate. Oh.
In her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked. Maybe she thought I'd know. Or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
Why should I go down here? What is down here? Forest. I shall explore later. Please come back and explore this. You know, just do that later. Can I really not sprint?
No one had driven this way in a long time, but I saw a few hoof prints.
I can't crouch. Oh, this may. Alright.
The truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it. But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to. The house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
I feel like it's a horror game. Hey, Lovey, do you think this is a horror game?
As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words. Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house.
Oh, what's that? Nice necklace. Oh, Jesus. Lovey, do you think this is a horror game or no? I should have put it around before I get back to the house.
Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11.
Whoa, I did not know that I could do that. Wait, I didn't want to go inside the house yet. Wait, I wasn't ready to go inside the house. I did not mean to go inside the house. I meant to try the key. Okay. That was an honest accident. That's not creepy at all.
For the first time in years, I felt like I was home.
Hello? Anybody home? Grandma? Brother?
But instead of a family, there were just memories of one. Like how after Lewis started working at the cannery, we all got sick of eating salmon. Except our cat, Molly.
Molly, you in here still? We should not go that way yet. Stairs are bad.
The table was still a wreck from the night we left.
Oh, jeez.
Nothing in the house looked abnormal.
Wait, did Molly die? Oh yeah, Molly is dead. Oh, rip the cat.
There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth.
Oh, there's the basement.
Great-Grandpa Sven built a music box for Barbara, along with the rest of the house.
That's not creepy at all. You get through the front door anymore. Oh.
My mom wasn't much of an optimist, but she never stopped believing that my brother Milton was alive.
What do you mean, fuck the house? Wait, what? What do you mean by that, Lovey? You're scaring me. Should I go in the basement or upstairs? Oh no. I'm scared. Oh my god. Upstairs.
After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms.
Screw the basement.
Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes. The last time I was in Edith Sr.'s room, I was 10 and she was painting my portrait.
Oh, that's creepy. Oh, dude, that's
My
so
Grandpa
creepy.
Sam spent 7 years sharing a room with his dead brother,
Anyone
Calvin.
behind me? Oh.
As a kid, I just assumed every house had peepholes and sealed rooms you weren't allowed inside of.
I'm coaching behind me frequently. No, that door's open. I gotta check every single peephole.
Molly always seemed like a girl I could imagine being friends with, if she hadn't died in 1947.
Why is that door open? Why would you come back here?
Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara.
There's an upstairs. There's an attic. Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't know what yours just is in.
Barbara was a child star for 2 years, until America grew out of
She
it.
said she was 17. No, yes, wait, 18 or 17, she said.
Edie's father, Odin, built the original house.
18 or 17. I think she said 17. Alright, should I go through that open door or the attic? Where should I go first? Oh, Jesus Christ, this game. Open door.
I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room.
Oh, that's not bad.
Lewis told me there were secret passages, but I never
A key.
believed him.
I can use the key. Oh my God.
Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets.
Oh. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of.
Should I go through that or the attic? Should I explore the rest of the place or the attic? Do it? Alright. That's not creepy music a bit.
From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me. Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan, but I had no idea what was behind it.
I should explore the rest of the house, though. Hello, is this Alice
like
Wonderland?
I had no idea where all this was gonna lead.
Did you just shut behind me? I can't go back. I should explore the rest of the house. I can't go back. Wow, okay. Oh, wait, it's Molly's room. Never mind.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat. The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it. I thought about eating Christopher, but I held back.
Damn. Can't see stuff. Oh, we're here.
My Halloween candy was all gone. Mom, can I come out now?
Sweetheart, it's late. Go to sleep.
Oh.
I kept eating and eating.
That's so bad for you.
I ate a lot of things that night.
That is so bad for you. No wonder it's... Oh.
Then I heard chirping outside my window.
Don't eat the bird. Oh,
It
no.
was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her.
This is how Molly dies, I think.
And suddenly, I was a cat.
I was a cat. You're dreaming. Oh my god.
I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared.
I'm gonna do some parkour, hopefully. I'm gonna try to
Mom and Dad didn't even look at me.
Oh, parkour, parkour. Oh my god. Wow, this is beautiful. Let's look at the house. This is actually beautiful.
I jumped and I almost got her. I could tell she was getting really tired. Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird. I gobbled her up. And suddenly, I was an owl.
Wait, an owl?
First,
Oh my god.
all I heard was the wind.
I thought I
Then I
died.
heard little teeth nibbling in the grass. Rabbits.
Oh my god, it's gonna be tough to catch. Oh, I see it. I got it.
I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons.
Oh my
I
god.
swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger.
This game's amazing. Oh my god. Something bigger.
A mama rabbit.
Gotcha.
She was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating. And suddenly, I was a shark.
Shark. You're joking me. Oh my god, you're joking me. Oh my god. Come on, live, shark. Oh my, how am I not dead?
I rolled
Oh
off a
my
cliff
God.
and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever.
Can I dive? Oops, not making the best menu. Oh my god, bro. This is so cool. All I can do is swim and swim and swim. Oh, I keep going back to the menu. I'm sorry, guys. Keep forgetting the button. Oh, my first spray.
I wanted fat, juicy seals.
Fat, juicy seals. Oh. Yeah, I know I missed the little window, Olivia, know. I didn't want to see her parents yet. I don't even know where I'm going. I just don't want to. I don't want to spoil it. I'll probably see him later on anyway. juicy seals. Okay, I'm sorry. I forgot and I didn't know. I was busy being a cat. I'm sorry, jeez. Oh, that's how I go down. I think I ate it. I can only go down if I see it. I have to keep rolling. I want those fat, juicy seals. There's one missing. Did I get it? Did I get it? Did I get it? Did I get it? Did I not get it? Wait, there's one down there. Get you now. Oh, I got it.
I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good.
After all. I missed. Shark don't lose them. Come here. Die.
Grabbed on tight. But I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed.
Let's see.
Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere.
Monster.
I was big, but I moved real quiet.
He's dead.
I wanted to stop, but also I didn't. After the last passenger, I was still hungry. And to cross the water, I smelled something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it.
Isn't this interesting, Lovey?
I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe. I got closer and closer.
Wait, am I gonna eat myself?
all of my stomach started growling. And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed, and we both know I will be delicious.
Oh my god, I'm gonna eat myself. No, put that back there.
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but
Oh,
I'm
what
sure
Molly looks
Edie
like.
would have.
We know what Molly looks like now. I heard a cat. Well, this is what Molly looks like. Rip the kid.
I grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole. Molly's gerbil had a tiny bedroom with its own even tinier gerbil cage.
We cannot go out the room.
Being inside for the first time, I felt like I'd stepped behind a painting. I can't describe it, but I felt like some part of Molly was still here.
Now we'll grab that part by looking under the bed. No, JK, I don't think I can do that. Wait, am I going outside?
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly. I spent a lot of time in Great-Grandma Edie's room.
That's a lot of pills.
Edie gave a big interview about a mole man living under the Finch house. My mom was furious. When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't. Even in her 90s, sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother.
We're not done exploring this room yet.
Her room was like a museum. For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune. Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johan. On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind. But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea. Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island. Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery. His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house.
So that's that.
Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
Oh, I draw Odin now. There's the peephole. I can't even see myself.
The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife Kay left on the house was the pink bathroom.
Why is there a chair
It was
there?
a pretty big trace.
Oh, something else? Oh, was this open? I'm ready. Should I open it? Should I open it? Should I open it?
There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, I can't go back. Alright, I'm not exploring it yet. I want to see what's behind this door. I cannot. I have to go this way. I am exploring this. Taking my sweet ass skin over here.
Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
Damn, okay. Horror movie look much. Oh, it's creepy a bit. Oh. That's really creepy music. I can't sit.
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin. And that he never talked about him. I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it.
Oh, broken foot.
My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom. And he did. At Barbara's funeral, he swore he'd never be afraid again. And he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Sam! Calvin! Dinner's ready! Coming!
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it. I told him going around was impossible.
Oh my god, pick up.
Maybe if I hadn't said that.
Oh, I'm about to flip.
Calvin! I'm not gonna tell you again!
Maybe if the wind hadn't picked up. Then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it.
Oh my god, I'm gonna
I think he'd already made up his mind.
I'm about to go to a full circle. Oh my god.
That's what I want to remember about my brother.
This is insane. Oh my god. Oh my god.
The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
Oh. Oh my god. I just killed him. I just killed him.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
Why did I do that? I feel like a dick now. I just killed him, dude. I just straight up murdered him.
After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room. Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
What's this? Nani? Another secret door. I'm finding all the secrets. No, that's just creepy. That is just creepy. Oh god, here goes nothing.
The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
Oh, I just went all the way in a circle. I shouldn't check out. Should I check out the attic now? Should I check out the attic?
Mom must have locked the third floor stairs on the night we left.
No, I can't. The third floor, it's not even the attic. Should I check the basement? Actually, no, I'm gonna go back. I'll explore all the rooms first before going down there.
Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star.
No, explore the other rooms first.
I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards.
Never mind then. Damn.
Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch.
Dark?
As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
That was
Now
perfect.
that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
20
did not
minutes
know
later,
that.
Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right? She reached for the music box.
Oh, well. Looks like I'm doing this in the comic.
And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent. She
Well,
found
Mike
Rick's
Myers.
crutch and imagined the worst.
The gang's leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
What's going on with Michael Myers?
The old fridge rattled and grew still.
Oh dear!
Oh!
Rick?
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Oh.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and you...
She
Damn.
threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the late picture show. Hours later...
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah! Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
Why don't Michael Myers music?
Walter had vanished, but his bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Barbara turned, saw the hook man, and was speechless. He was quite smashing. And he was. He couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara, there's gotta be another way out of here.
That night, she played her part beautifully. She thought about abandoning Walter, but just couldn't do it. Molly's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges grow. He wasn't moving, but she sensed the story might not be over yet. The hookman had vanished. She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was...
Oh my god.
At the door, she heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
Oh dear.
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter? hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her. Her ear. Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
Oh my god. That is just...
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
That was just... I don't want to go in the basement anymore. Oh my god. Oh my god.
I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box.
Okay, it's saving. Okay, Jesus. I'm gonna check out options really fast. Camera control. There you go. Oh my god, basement. I wonder where the key is now. Oh, Jesus Christ. Can I just grab this as a weapon, please?
Mom said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot. I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages.
What the hell? Who the hell's that?
I thought maybe she was hiding presents. It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that.
Secret passage. Oh, sorry, I had someone talking to me.
I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone.
Where the hell is Pete? Who the hell is
She said
Pete?
after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could. If there's a pattern in all these stories, I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years. On the that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week. But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane. Having a schedule. I always expected to be dead tomorrow. But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything. Even a monster on the other side of the door starts to feel normal. Almost friendly. And then one day, everything just stopped. Whatever that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting. Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid.
I don't want to see you eating these cans.
It's been a week now. The longest in 30 years. I'm done waiting. I have to leave while I still can.
I don't go that way then. Oh, that way. It's a hatch. Okay, I won't pull it up even though I pressed to pull it up. This looks exciting. Such a thrill.
I know it's out there, somewhere. Whatever killed Barbara and Molly and Calvin. Maybe this is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day, even if it kills me. Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it. I'm going to appreciate all of it, especially the food. I don't mind if I only have a year left, or a month, or a single week. I'd be happy with 1 year day. I can already imagine the sun on my face.
Walter died when I was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here.
Do you think that monster is still here?
I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me.
Do you think the monster is still here? Oh, that's cool. Since 2006. Well, it makes sense. I was like born like 1999. I'm 17, so maybe. Am I jumping down? Oh, you're so boring.
Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter. But if she never told me about an uncle under the house, I can only imagine what else she was hiding.
Yeah.
I don't want to make the same mistakes she made. trying to bury something that's still alive. Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe two, I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself.
Yeah, I
And found
get
out what
it,
happened to
jeez.
everyone else. But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real.
Yeah. Repulsion. I should jump and end it all. No, yeah.
I don't know if I should even be writing this.
That's where I
Maybe it'd
think
be
I
better
ended
if all this just died with me. But I thought you should know about your family. And the history you're a part of.
Why
Though
have
to be
spoil
honest,
it?
I
Come
feel
on.
as lost as you probably do right now.
Don't spoil this. I'm gonna
I
act
think
like I never
people
saw
in
that.
these stories believed them, for what that's worth. And when you look at the house, that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness, any of it seems possible.
Alright, next save point, yeah, I'm just gonna end the stream there. Alright, next save point.
I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it. What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house?
I can't just jump. No, I can't. No.
It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one. 3 of the gerbils are mine, and 2 had been my fault.
Ooh, that's a rip.
Sven built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery.
A lot of graves.
I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away. She could see it poking out of the water at low tide. Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night.
So that's the house. Damn. I didn't even get one. Can I go anywhere? No. Can I go back now?
Edie's side was always easier for me to understand. But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from. Her dad had been pretty strict, but it wasn't enough to save her brothers. She was just trying to do better.
That's a lot of graves. Oh my god.
She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us. There's so many things I wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday and find everything out for myself.
I'm going up here now.
But looking back on it now,
alright, I just got a save point. I said I'll end it when I get that save point, guys, so continue to stream tomorrow. Ooh, to be continued. Big stopper. How do you feel? I'll see you guys later.